morning. I'm not here today, just like you're not here today, for a watered-down version of political correctness. I'm here today to fight for my life, your little brother's life, your little sister's life, your son's life, and your daughter's life, while also commemorating the lives lost 19 years ago today to a mentally ill individual with irresponsibly easy access to a firearm at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. Innocent lives were lost that day. 12 teachers and one beloved coach fighting to protect the lives of his students. These 13 chairs lined up behind of me, with 13 balloons attached to them, is symbolic of 13 lives lost that day. And later in the program, we will release the balloons to further memorialize these individuals. More than 187,000 students attending at least 193 schools have experienced shootings on campus since Columbine in 1999. That number does not include the gun violence epidemic outside of our schools. Right here in Uniondale, we have had over 15 students die by the hand of a gun in the last 15 years. The wonderful Miss McFadden developed a board in honor for the lives lost in Uniondale, and it will be up today and for the remainder. In addition, we have numerous tables set up, from joining the activism club to a signing petition for a gun buyback program in our community. Now we will initiate the program, and I'll be turning the mic over to Emily Long, our first speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. 4,213. 732, 177, 64. In 2018 alone, there have been approximately 4,213 deaths due to gun violence in America. There has been 732 reports for children between the ages of 12 and 18, and 177 reports for children between the ages of 0 and 11 for death or injury due to gun violence. Mass shootings between the month of January and April alone. Good morning. My name is Emily Long, and I am a sophomore at Uniondale High School. Today, I am standing before you to speak of the reality of our situation, to speak of the reality of our lives. Right now, America is going through an epidemic. This epidemic is gun violence. Gun violence is all of us know someone who has been a victim of gun violence. This is an issue that has been affecting the lives of many for many years. Yet it seems that as of recent years, the problem has only metastasized into something much worse. Statistics that were mentioned seems to only verify it. A high school in Littleton, Colorado, experienced a mass shooting that left 12 students and one teacher dead. The country to its core, it served as a haunting reminder of how deadly firearms can be. Many set out to the streets saying that they would never allow this to happen again and that they would protect the children of America. Yet nothing changed. Virginia Tech, Sandy Hook, Pulse, more and more mass shootings, each deadlier than the last, and every time they would chant never again, and every time it would happen again. On February 14th, 2018, Stoneman Douglas High School, a high school in Parkland, Florida, experienced a mass shooting that left 17 students and teachers dead. It was the 9th deadliest mass shooting in modern American history. It seemed like the cycle would begin itself again. People would die, America would shout never again, and after a few weeks, everyone would cease to care. But surely enough, this time was different. The survivors of this tragedy rose from the ashes of their situation and quickly went to work to make their mass shooting the last. They began the March for Our Lives movement. This movement has swept across the country, gaining the support of millions as it did. Various demonstrations have been hosted since Valentine's Day to combat this country's inadequate gun legislation. School walkouts, protests in the Capitol, and demonstrations on local city halls show a few of the many ways that the American people have bound together to elicit change. Today, we are once again doing just that. Coming together with thousands upon thousands of others across the country in solidarity to remember the lives of those who are no longer with us and to demand change. To demand better protection from the threat of gun violence. To demand that our voices be heard and be taken into consideration. Gun violence is a plague that haunts this country. It hangs over schools and churches and homes and communities alike. Minority community seems to be acquainted with it best. It can be seen in the mindsets that many adopt, in the jokes that are whispered in the night among residents when pops goes off in the night. The joke of being unable to distinguish between firecrackers and gunshots seems to illustrate this best. It highlights the fact that many are so used to living among gun violence that in a way they almost expect it. Once again, it shows that gun violence isn't something that just popped up out of the blue. It has been present all along. Uniondale itself could testify to that. Even our little town has its own history and unjustly spilled blood, and the loss of those who should be here right now. We remember them too. They are just as important as anyone else and will live in our memories forever. They will continue to be a driving force in this fight towards a safer future. People, this is it. This is the event of our lifetimes, the civil rights of our days. One day, hopefully a day when children and adults alike no longer have to fear for their lives, we will look back on the actions of today and feel proud that we were a part of this movement. That when the call was sent out to bring about change, we eagerly ran towards it rather than shying away. These are the events that will be written in history. The events that will make their way into the textbooks of our children and grandchildren. If we remain steadfast and relentless, surely we can make a change. Let's continue this fight every day until things get better. Let's write letters to Congress and support movements such as March for Our Lives and Black Lives Matter that make it a point to speak up for stricter gun laws. Let's all register to vote if eligible, because our most powerful weapon as Americans is our ability to vote. It's through our votes that the change we seek will come. Let's evaluate our sense of media consumption to make sure we are consuming forms of media that glorify and romanticize guns and death. Because people, we are better than that. And most importantly, let's treat each other with utmost kindness. Let's listen to one another and tell each other kind words. Let's share love and compassion and care, because you can't fight hatred with hatred. The only thing powerful enough to extinguish hate is love. Let's become a stronger, more united Uniondale that pushes towards a safer, brighter future. As I have said before, these are the events that we will be remembered for, so let's remain steadfast and relentless, and let's change the world. Thank you.
Buenos días, compañeros. Mi nombre es Demar Padilla. Quiero compartir con la comunidad latina de Uniondale High School que hoy es el día en que honraremos a los que han muerto debido a la violencia por armas. ¿Cuándo se va a terminar esto? No paró con el evento en Columbine High School, ni con la matanza en Sandy Hook, ni con lo que pasó recientemente en Parkland, Florida. Creemos en la importancia del control de armas. En este momento en que hacemos nuestra protesta y demostración, nuestro país sufre una epidemia. Esta epidemia es la de violencia por armas. Esta epidemia afecta a todos los que vivimos en Estados Unidos, pero el número más grande es a latinos y afroamericanos. Más de 38,000 latinos perdieron la vida por armas entre 1999 y 2010. Esta epidemia es una epidemia personal para la comunidad latina de Uniondale High School. Hemos perdido compañeros, hermanos, primos, tíos, vecinos. Hoy decimos ya no más. Hoy nos unimos para pedir la paz.
Why are you prioritizing guns over our children? When did the efficiency of a gun become more precious than the life of a child? Imagine the constant trepidation of not feeling safe when you're supposed to feel safe. Empathize with the child you'll never understand. America, when did our schools become war zones? Of course. When did a gun start having more rights than a human being? For the people in charge, why must you pretend to care? You send your thoughts and prayers, do nothing, and it repeats itself. We must break this cycle of corruption and demise. 2018 is the year most people are finally realizing that gun violence is out of control. Every day, people are getting away with violent crimes at the hands of a gun. It is 2018 and stricter gun laws are still not enforced. Stricter gun laws doesn't mean a ban to guns. It simply means a harder alternative to attaining one. So America, what have you done to secure my tomorrow? What have you done to assure that I will have a tomorrow? Most importantly, America, what have you done to end our sorrow? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Donna. My poem is called Shoot Down the Dream. I like to think of a time where the world wasn't so bad, where the world wasn't so grim, just peace. And I sigh, because a bullet made a sound and a trigger was pulled, and my dream fell to the ground, thinking the sins of a silver barrel. I close my eyes, and I feel the sun on my face, and I feel your hand in my hand, and that's peaceful. But your hand is cold, and so is your soul, and so is the gun in your hand. I like my friends. I love my friends, and they love me too, and that's peaceful. But then I look into some man, some person with a gun in their hand, and I listen to some hate. I listen to his fate. And when I close my eyes, I cry, because nothing is black and white. Everything is gray, stained with the red blood that was shed because of the gun in your hand. And I hear the screams, I hear your screams, and then my screams, and then I feel the thickness of your blood, the thickness of this pain that will never leave me, because the bullet didn't go through just you, it went through me too. And I feel like I'm drowning in bullets, I'm drowning in your blood, and his blood, and 13 other bullet wounds, and there are more too. I hear the screams, I watch my dying dream, and I know that you will never come home, because there was someone with a gun in their hand. I lost you to this fate, I lost you to this hate, and I will never see you again, because there was someone with a gun in their hand. How you doing? I'm Drew Major. Now we got some great speakers. Can you clap for them, please? Thank you. But since they ain't saying it's cold, it's really cold. It's cold outside. I'm cold. The sun ain't doing nothing for me. Just letting y'all know. Alright, so close your eyes. Imagine if your favorite teacher got shot and she wasn't even on a block. No, she got shot by a man in a mask like a mascot. Then he got the nerve to bring more children into this. They won't be missed. Why did that killer think he was a god? Like the real god was flawed. Guns really should be outlawed. I need to ask a question. Hey, NRA, how many kids did you kill today? Today, y'all, everyone here, please listen and let me tell you this walkout will never be dissed or forgotten, but that doesn't mean this will stop. Let's make it happen and try to be fast like raindrops to get guns off the streets like main props.
Next, we will have a speaker right here, Emily.
Buenos dias. Good morning, everyone. For me, it's a mission. For me, it's my life. What you see in front of you is the product of gun violence. I was shot in Hampstead at the age of 19. Most of you are probably 19. But if you're not, I want you to get there. I want you to turn 19, 20, 21, 22. I want you to have the passion that I have. It is important for you to understand that this is your movement. This is yours. And because of you, we are here. Because we do not want you to hurt. We don't want you to be a victim of gun violence. I want you to understand that the pain that the families have felt because of gun violence is not far from the pain that a lot of people in the world are suffering because there's wars because of guns and all these politicians that are not doing anything for you. It's time for you to rise up and say never again. Never again.
La violencia con armas de fuego es algo que está afectando a la comunidad, al país y principalmente a muchos adolescentes. Duele imaginar que en nuestra escuela podemos perder nuestras valiosas vidas, que el lugar en el que nos llenamos de sueños sea donde en un instante nos los quiten de una manera irreparable. La vida es algo regalo dado cada uno, el cual es dado para potenciarlo y desarrollarlo con buenas acciones. Debemos tratar de mejorar el mundo sin violencia. Los problemas no se resuelven con armas ni a golpes. Eso solo crea nuevos y más complicados problemas. A través de la violencia puedes matar a una mala persona, pero no la maldad. Las armas y asesinatos solo dejan un vacío en el corazón o peor aún, nos dejan sin vida. Digamos ya basta a las armas, no son usadas para el bien y están acabando con los sueños de las personas. Las armas no discriminan, no importa nuestra nacionalidad, nuestro color, nuestra forma de pensar o quiénes somos. Cualquier persona puede sufrir un ataque armado en cualquier momento y en cualquier lugar. Ayúdennos a vivir en un mundo en que las armas no se crucen en nuestro camino. Queremos paz y no violencia. Queremos paz y no matanzas. Queremos paz y no velorios. Queremos paz y no entierros. Queremos paz y un futuro mejor que nuestro pasado. Nosotros somos el futuro de esta nación y si nos preguntan cuál es el arma capaz de contrarrestar la maldad, nosotros sugerimos la paz. Para que haya paz en el mundo, debe haber paz en las naciones. Para que haya paz en las naciones, debe haber paz en las ciudades. Para que haya paz en las ciudades, debe haber paz entre los adultos. Para que haya paz entre los adultos, debe haber paz en las escuelas. Para que haya paz en las escuelas, debe haber confianza en que todos los niños son capaces de convertirse en adultos pacíficos. Entonces, habrá paz en todos nuestros corazones.
The names of the people lost to the Columbine as they release these balloons. Cassie Bernal, Steve Carnell, Corey DePuter, Kelly Fleming, Matt Ketcher, Daniel Mauser, Daniel Roberg, Rachel Scott, Isaiah Schultz, John Tomlin, Lauren Townshend, Kyle Velasquez, and Coach David Sanders.
This really means a lot to all of us.